7 months into being a cigar aficionado, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and observations of coming into the cigar world as a beginner. Just some things that I think about it, how I feel about cigars, the whole 9 yards, and hopefully this will help somebody who is thinking about getting into cigars, who's thinking about venturing into the world of cigars, don't know what kind of cigar you want to get, don't know where you want to start. This is coming from someone who is not an aficionado, okay? I am not a cigar expert. I do not know it all. I have not been smoking cigars for years. I've only been smoking for about 7 months now. But this is coming from somebody that's real. This is coming from somebody that's genuine, that's just going to give you their honest opinion and my truth, which is all I can do. So, cigars. Um, I first got introduced to a cigar earlier this year in 2023. Well, actually, late last year in December of 2022. We went out, me and my wife. We went out to celebrate her birthday before her birthday. Her birthday is January the 1st, and we went out before then just to kind of celebrate with some friends here in Austin, Texas. And a friend of mine from church had a cigar. He had actually had a couple cigars. I never smoked a cigar. I always liked how they smelled, but I had never really smoked a cigar. And I never really thought that they would taste well. And he gave me a cigar, and it was a flavored cigar. It's like a vanilla flavored cigar. I don't remember the name. I don't remember what kind of cigar it was, if it was a Corona or a Robusto or a Toro. Well, I know it wasn't a Toro or a Gordo or a double Corona, you know, all these different sizes, right? We'll talk about that. But I knew it was like a basic cigar, kind of like what I'm holding in my hand, right? And he gave me a cigar. I was smoking it, and I started to taste vanilla from the cigar. And it was nice. It was actually nice. And then it opened me up to an idea of something that would really help as far as my anxiety that I deal with. Because I do deal with anxiety. I do have panic attacks from time to time. And for those of you who may have anxiety, I would never push or encourage someone to smoke, okay? So cigars is tobacco, okay? This is tobacco. It is nicotine, okay? The same thing that they put in cigarettes. But to me, cigars are a little bit healthier than cigarettes because this is a leaf. It is not infused with thousands and thousands of hundreds of chemicals and ammonia and this and that. It is literally a leaf from the ground. A leaf from the ground that has went through multiple hands to be fermented and rolled up into a cigar. So you're basically smoking a natural leaf. You light that leaf on fire, it starts to smoke. Maybe it's infused, right? So the cigar that I had that tastes like vanilla was infused, okay? That I know for sure. Some cigars have a natural sweet flavor, but this one was very heavy vanilla. So it is a infused cigar, and I think it was just a sweet tip cigar, meaning just only the tip where you put your mouth is sweet. But it was a wonderful experience. And for me, what I really liked about it was that it opened the door for communication and talk, and it slowed things down. Because when you smoke a cigar, you slow down from cutting process to the lighting process to the smoking process. It slows you down to really enjoy the moment. You're enjoying the cigar, you're enjoying the company, you're enjoying the conversation. The same way I'm doing with you right now. I'm sitting here talking to you. I'm clear-minded, I'm level-headed, I'm slowed down, and while I'm talking to you, I'm puffing from time to time. So that opened my world, man, that first cigar. And from there, I started to kind of Want to know more about this, right? Maybe that'll be you, right? Maybe you're at that stage where you're like, man, I just had a cigar for the first time, and it was horrible, but it's something interesting about cigars, and I want to know more, right? Maybe that's you, and that was me, right? Even though my first experience was great. I didn't always have great experiences. I'll tell you about that. But my first experience was great. My friend introduced me to it. If I didn't like it, I'd have to keep going, but I actually cut it off, saved it for later, right? And I was excited. And so I started looking into it quite naturally, like a lot of us do. We go to YouTube. I went to YouTube, started uncovering all these different cigars and different names and this, and that, and knowing all this different stuff. And I'm just like, wow, man, I did not know the cigar world was that vast of intricacies and knowledge and this and that. But almost everybody I watched always kept the main thing, which was keep it simple. Find something you enjoy. Don't get into the nuances about how to hold a cigar, how to smoke a cigar, how to do this or what to drink with it and all that kind of stuff. If you enjoy it and it's working for you, keep doing it. That's the main thing. That's the main thing that counts. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on a cigar. You don't even have you know, like you can find a great cigar for about $5, right? That's one thing that most cigar aficionados have said, and I have heard on YouTube. And that's one thing I like about cigar people on YouTube is that they're all kind people. They all have the same mentality of do what works for you, smoke what feels good for you, and just enjoy company, enjoy your time. I feel like almost everybody I watched on YouTube, I could smoke with, hang out with, just chat, and they're all normal people. Like, they could be celebrities. I don't know some of these people, but they could be very well known. And I would know because they just seem just like regular, general people that want to talk about life. They want to talk about cigars. They want to talk about drinks, class, you know, off-roading, hunting, fishing, whatever, man. And that's a whole community, and I just love it. And so I started doing that. And the second cigar I bought, because I really was into this flavor thing, was my very first cigar that I bought, not second, the very second cigar that I tried, but my very first cigar that I bought, I went to a gas station. I didn't know nothing about cigar shops, so I just went to a gas station, and a gas station had cigars. And then I'm not talking Swisher Sweets or cigarillos or anything like that. It was actual cigars, but they were expensive. My very first cigar that I bought was a Java by Drew Estates. It was a Java Maduro. Maduro just means that the wrapper was very, very dark, like chocolate, basically. Like this is just like a regular shade, right? You'll start learning if you don't know. Cigars have shades. You have Connecticut shade, which is like a light shade, and then you have Maduro, which is like a darker shade, right? The Java by Drew Estates is a Maduro cigar. Now, don't get confused just because if the wrapper around the cigar is lighter, then it means it's mild and not so strong. And just because another one is darker or Maduro mean it's strong. That is further from the case. You just have to try it because this could be strong just because it looks light and mild. But I got a Java. I walked into the gas station. I told the man, hey man, I want a cigar that got flavor. He was an Arabian guy, and he couldn't know the difference with any of the cigars in his case at all. He was just a guy selling cigars at the gas station. Well, wasn't a gas station. It was actually a liquor store that was next to the gas station, and the liquor store had cigars. But you can tell cigars wasn't the main attraction at his liquor store because he himself didn't really know much about it. He just sold them, and then he sold the tools, right? So I started with a cigar. I bought the Java Maduro because he said that it probably is like a chocolate one. I was like, ooh, a chocolate cigar. Let's try that out. Maybe that's nice. Bought the Java, by Drew Estates. I bought this cutter right here, which I still got, and I bought a regular lighter, this small little bitty lighter right here, boy. And I didn't really, again, I'm just going based off of what I remember my friend showing me, right? You gotta cut it, you gotta light it right, get up there, put that flame on it, right? I'm basically burning the cigar. I mean, all up in there, trying to go fast, right? I'm excited, like, ooh, what does this taste like? I'm excited, right? And it was still wonderful, though. Even though there are a lot of things I didn't know, it was still great. It tasted like chocolate. I'm like tasting all these different flavors in my mouth. And, you know, for some people starting off, maybe cigars just taste like nothing to you. Airplane, or a helicopter. For some people starting off, maybe a cigar tastes like nothing to you. Just tastes like dirt, tastes like ash, tastes like raw tobacco, right? That can be. That can be. You know how I really began to taste cigars and to taste all these different things that, you know, people say that are in cigars, chocolate and vanilla and all that kind of stuff, outside of just the sweet tip, right? Because again, some of these tips are very infused with the flavor so that you can taste the flavor, so you can enjoy the flavor and continue to buy that cigar, right? I started to notice that a lot of the flavor comes from the smoke. And when you draw the smoke in to your mouth, you don't inhale cigars, meaning that you don't breathe the smoke into your lungs. And what I mean by that is, like, I can puff on this and then breathe it down, right? Like in, right? I'm literally sucking the smoke from the cigar and I'm letting it back out of my mouth. So it's like this. I really sucked it in with my mouth, drew it into my mouth, and I blew it back out. If you suck it into your mouth slowly, you allow the smoke to kind of revolve in your mouth, kind of sit in your mouth a little bit. This is your palate. You'll start hearing about that, about your palate and developing your palate. Your palate is basically your taste. It's basically what you taste. A lot of times when you first start smoking cigars, what you're going to taste is exactly, you know, what a cigar is. You're just going to taste tobacco. It's just going to taste like a leaf. You know, but once you let it settle into your mouth, you'll start to kind of understand different notes, right? Maybe you'll taste tobacco and then maybe you'll taste leather, right? Like that is an actual taste that you'll hear people say, notes of leather. And then you'll be like, why would I want to smoke some that tastes like leather? But it's not just leather, right? These are just characteristics. These are characteristics of taste, and that characteristic comes from what you taste and also what you smell, right? Like you could smell leather, therefore you taste leather. You could smell chocolate, therefore you taste chocolate, right? Like when I took that job out, I just smelled it, and it smelled like chocolate. Some people smell coffee. I smelled chocolate. I'm like, that smelled like a chocolate bar, like an actual chocolate bar, like a Hershey's. And quite naturally, as I'm smelling it, up to my nose as well, and I'm tasting it, I'm like, I get chocolate. I get tobacco. I get chocolate. I got leaf. I got sugar. I got a lot of stuff. And that's what you'll start to get when you start smoking, right? So my first one was a Java Maduro. Check this out, though. My second one that I ever bought, I went back to the same gas station. Because I'm like, man, these cigars are expensive. But I went back because I wanted another one. And I got another Java, but then I also got a Punch cigar by the brand Punch, which is a very prestigious and older brand. It was a very short Maduro cigar, very dark. And I didn't know what to expect. I'm trying just different cigars. I'm like, let me try this one. This one looks cool. It's got a nice little package on this outside of it. Let me try that one. That thing had so much pepper, it was crazy. Like that thing almost had me sneezing. Like I'm smoking, I'm like, ugh, ugh, just pepper. Like oh, it was strong. It's like I went inside and got the black pepper shaker and just like shook it in my nose and in my mouth. And I'm just like, oh my God, it was just unbearable. I actually haven't had another punch since then, but I think I can get into it now. But it was just bad. And I'm just like, oh, I know what I don't like. I know what I do like. I know what I don't like. And then so from there, I began to buy more cigars. I began to understand how to properly cut, light, smoke, hold, all these different nuances, right? And it has expanded my joy of cigars. And so I want to encourage you, if you're somebody new coming into cigars, one, find out what you like. Go to a cigar shop. Not saying that you can't go to a gas station and get one, or liquor store get one, but you will find the same cigar that you can get at a gas station or liquor store very, very cheaper at a cigar shop. Same Java that I found at that gas station for like 15, 16 bucks, I found at a cigar shop for like 10, 9, depending on where you go. And I'm just like, what? I should have been come here. One, find out what you like. Go to cigar shop. Talk to the man in the cigar shop. If you don't know, hey, I want to find some flavor. Maybe you don't want to find no flavor. Maybe you like pepper. Maybe you want to taste some pepper. Some ground pepper, some spices. Maybe you want to taste some spices, right? He's like, I got to taste for some spice. I'm drinking some scotch, some whiskey, some tequila. I want something spicy in my mouth, right? No matter what you want to taste, there's a cigar for it. Go to the cigar shop, talk to the man. He'll lead you to some stuff. I started buying like these Trader Joe's cigars, which is kind of like bottom of the barrel type of cigars, but they were straight up vanilla. Like I'm talking, they were $1. You can get a cigar for $1. These cigars were $1. Real thin, a little bit long, burns very, very quick, and it was only $1. Especially if you don't have a lot of time. I bought it, and it was great. I don't really buy them like that anymore. My palate's kind of expanded now. But again, I enjoyed those moments. I'm just like, wow, man, look at all this. I'm enjoying this. This is making me enjoy cigars. So try that out. Find out what you like. Two, continue to learn about cigar world. Continue to learn about the lingo, what a Corona cigar is. We're talking about sizes. Corona, Robusto, Turo, right? This cigar that I'm holding right here in my hand, I've been smoking here, is a in-house cigar. I didn't know certain cigar lounges or cigar, stores also get in-house cigars, meaning that there are people in the U.S. who actually roll and make their own cigars, and they're not imported. You will find that a lot of cigars are imported from Nicaragua. They may be Dominican. They may be from all kind of places, right? Where they grow cigars, right? Even Jamaica, right? All kind of places, right? And so this is an in-house cigar. So I don't even, there is no name. Where there may be a name in-house, but I don't remember it because I was just like, hey, I just want to add to my box, right? So find out about the different sizes. The smaller the cigar, the shorter time it is to smoke. If you're a person that doesn't have much time, like me, I have kids. I don't really have a lot of time unless I have the time. So for example, right now, I've taken out a longer cigar. I've had more time today. It's Sunday. And I might have been out here maybe an hour and a half, maybe an hour, close to an hour and a half. So I decided to take out one a little bit longer. I think I have I think this was a Toro at first. But again, you have different sizes. So this was much, much smaller than this, right? Like this is a 8x52 ring gauge. Ring gauge is like the size of the piece where you put your mouth. Like if you don't like big cigars where you gotta put your whole like open your whole mouth to smoke, right? Then something like this might help. Just getting something small, right? Where it's not too much, right? Or something like what I got in my hand now, right? Something easy to manage. Multiple cigars, multiple different options, multiple different things you can do. So enjoy the journey with anything. I will tell you something that I had to learn because my wife had began to get concerned a little bit because my excitement, I could not contain my excitement of wanting to smoke. Even though I know this is not addicting to me, it could be for you. Just one thing to keep in mind. In everything that you do it in moderation. Water is good for you, but if you drink too much, it could turn bad. Food is healthy for you if you're eating healthy food, but if you eat too much fruit, if you eat too many vegetables and not enough of the right vegetables, if you don't get enough protein in your body, if you're drinking too much milk, too much juice, if you know, watch too much TV, if you work too much, right? Too much sex, too much this or that. Any of that stuff could be detrimental. If you worked out too much with no rest, anything could be detrimental. Do it in moderation. Moderation means understand your limits, understand your time, and use it for what it's for. It's for enjoyment. It's for relaxation. It's for enjoyment. It's for communication. It's for relaxing. Use it for what it's for. I don't have this time every day because I go to work. But when I have this time, I enjoy my time. And I'm not using this time always to just smoke. I enjoy playing with my children. I enjoy being with my wife. I enjoy being with my church family. Hey, moderation. Hope this video helped you. If you want to know a little bit more about cigars, I just kind of kept it basic. That's just my output of a 7-month journey now into smoking cigars. And there's a whole bunch more that I want to try, but I also started to keep a list of what I liked. So that way, if you ever go places and you can't find what you want, at least you got a list of what you like. Take pictures, take videos, put it on your phone. I have all this stuff in my notes section on my phone. So that way, if I ever go somewhere and I'm looking for that Java by Drew Estates, Maduro, or if I'm looking for a My Father, Libiju, 1922, or maybe I'm looking for my my number one favorite actually, a Perdomo Habano, Maduro or Connecticut, either one. Probably Maduro though. You'll start learning these names as you find your favorite cigars. Or even this. I only got this bigger size because I actually like this. This is the Flor de Olivia from Nicaragua. I actually get a smaller size than this. And I like this because the cigar is not all sweet, but the tip is. And the tip's sweetness actually lasts quite a bit of time as I'm smoking the cigar. I hate the habit of having to cut the cigar and come back to it later. You can. It probably won't taste the same like some people may tell you it will, which is why, hey, buy different variety sizes. As you can see, I haven't smoked this yet because I ain't had this type of time. Yeah, hopefully this helped you. Let me know your thoughts on the video, and I'll talk to you next time.